Okay, if I can have everyone's attention, we will go ahead and get started with our post-race press conference with our winners here. We welcome our winning owner, Jack Roush, who owns the number 99 Aflac Ford, driven by our race winner today, Carl Edwards. Jack, talk a little bit about Carl's first road course victory here at Sonoma. We were just talking to Jimmy about what an exciting race it was, a little bit of everything we saw here today. Talk a little bit about what this victory means to you.
Well, Carl was able to win today because Jimmy had him in a fast car, and Carl was motivated and able. And Jimmy stopped him on lap 70 and got him good track position, and it all came together. As I said on the pit box today, I remembered so many times I've been to Sears Point. The first time I to Sonoma, I guess it's Sonoma Raceway now. It used to be Sears Point, and then it was in Fenig, maybe some other things in between. But at any rate, 30 years ago, in 1984, I brought my SCCA Trans Am car out here with a local driver, Greg Pickett, drove it. And we won the first road race that I ever entered at Sears Point. And we were able to win on that occasion. So anyway, there was good karma today. Carl had been good in practice. He the car did not have a characteristic that was unsettling to him. And they focused on forward drive and had good brakes, and it all came together.
Also joining us, crew chief Jimmy Fenig. Jimmy, this is the second victory of 2014, so obviously you guys already have solidified your place in the chase this year. But talk a little bit about what your strategy was today, as Jack just mentioned, but what this win means to you too, and obviously your thoughts moving forward as the chase looms.
Well, anytime you can get a win, it's great in our business, whether it's a road course or oval. But the strategy don't change with 2 wins now. I think we just stayed our plan that we've been doing. We've been racing, trying to improve our mile-and-a-half program, and we've been working really hard at it. But have 2 wins right now and be locked in really feels good because it also adds some bonus points too. So feels good about it, and feels good to win here at Sonoma.
We're now joined by our race winner, Carl Edwards, driver of the number 99 Aflac Ford. Carl, you're the 10th consecutive different winner here at Sonoma Raceway. First road course win, obviously your second win so far. These gentlemen have been talking about the strategy and what it means to sit here today and being part of this historic win for you here at Sonoma. Talk a little bit about the race today and your win.
Well, it means a lot to me, a lot. My road racing progression, it's been a pretty long climb from when Jack let Boris come to VIR, the 2-seater, and basically we ran off in the dirt a bunch all day, and Boris taught me, all the basics of road racing. To be able to come here and to win this race 10 years later is really special. So a lot of hard work's gone into this, and to be locked into the chase is huge. Now we can focus really hard on our program for the final 10 races. And then the real special part to me was to stand in victory lane at Sonoma and have Jeff Gordon come and give me a handshake as a second-place finisher means a lot. I grew up watching Jeff Gordon and specifically watching how he drove this racetrack and all the successes he had here. And so, that's really super, it's something I'll never forget.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions. Please raise your hand. We'll take our first question up front and then go on to the back.
Brock Beard from NASCAR. This question is more for Mr. Fenig and Mr. Roush. I was talking with Carl the other day about what it would mean if he could win the first race for Ford at this track since 2002, and you were talking about the past, Mr. Roush, earlier about that. I just wanted to see if you ever had any flashes in your mind about the 1997 finish with Jeff Gordon following Mark Martin to the line.
We've really enjoyed our success road racing. Mark Martin was a good road racer, and of course the Trans Am and the SCCA programs we've had, IMSA programs we had before that took us to this racetrack was always a lot of fun to do that. So there's an expectation on my part. I come out here and I tell the guys, you need to get lots of toe out to get this thing to turn, and you need to get lots of toe in the back to get the forward bite. And there's certain things about the racetrack that are unique, and they apply to all the cars that we've had here over the years. But it was good to watch Carl. I know Ford Motor Company has helped us, made their test in Utah available to us, our test track available to us. Carl was out there. You were out there again this year, weren't you?
Yes.
So there was a lot of effort going into getting Carl to the point where he could do what he needs to do and trying to get the car where it needs to do. The brakes did a nice job today. The brakes are really important here.
We'll take our next question there in the middle.
Hey, Carl. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Sorry. You've had some very good results here recently, too. Did you feel that it was just a matter of time before this happened?
Not really, because every year is different. You come out here, and there are always people who figure something out. And there's so much time between these races. It leaves a lot of room for innovation and improvement. So you never really know what to expect. But after practice on Friday, I got out of the car to walk to the hauler, and I told Richie, the car chief, I said, I think we're going to win this thing. The car was driving pretty well, and we seemed to have pretty good lap times. But halfway through the race, I did not think we were going to win it. We were not doing well. I was driving my heart out, and I wasn't going anywhere. But Jimmy made the right adjustments. He made the right call to get us out front. And then he reminded me to leave nothing out there and to drive as hard as I could, and that was what I needed.
Okay, we'll take our next question to the left. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dick Sisich, RaceSonoma.com. Carl, Jeff was closing on you those last couple of laps. He really got close. Were you expecting him to try and make a move on you at the end, or did you figure out, were you going through your head, how am I going to hold him on? How am I going to keep him behind me?
Yes, we were really good in the braking zone, so I felt pretty good about that. I don't know, how close did he get here in turn 11? Like 3 feet, 10 feet? Yeah, half a car length or so. That's how I kind of felt he'd be right there. What I did is I made a couple of mistakes that final lap. My tires were really worn out. I was having a hard time getting the car to turn, and if I didn't do everything perfectly, he would really, really close on me. And I didn't do everything perfectly. So the biggest thing is I just wanted to get down here to 11, get stopped, get turned without getting hit, and I figured if I could do that, it'd be okay. But yeah, I didn't. I'm glad it's a 110 lap race, not 111. It would have been a tough last lap. We had to go one more. So
it worked.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take our next question. Jim, go ahead.
Jim Undershaw, Observer for Carl, and if you'd like to answer, Jack. Coming off a race where, as an organization, a place that you guys have typically run very well and did not at Michigan, and then coming to a place where you have not, or as an organization, won many races and ending up in victory lane today, is that, I know the two tracks are not similar at all, but is it somewhat of a good momentum boost or a confidence booster?
Well, these two guys sitting next to me, they don't, they give everything they've got all the time, and even though we're not obviously running as well as we want at the bigger tracks, like Jack said, we prepared for this race the very best we could. And we'll prepare for Kentucky the best we can. And so we've got to go out and take advantage of the places where we run well. And this year it's been the short tracks, and the road course looks like we've got that program going pretty well. So, from my perspective, what I see as a driver is just everybody working very hard, and we get the results on the days when we can. But I hope it picks up the organization a little bit this win from last week, because that was really the low point of the season, in my opinion.
Okay, we'll go upstairs for questions.
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. Carl, you haven't announced where you're going yet, or where your plans are for next year. And in the past, we've seen that sometimes affect teams and hurt teams. The last time you went through this, though, you guys kind of, I think you were leading the points for most of the summer, and it didn't seem to affect you at all. And now here you win today, and it kind of seems like you guys are not affected by anything that's going on. Can you speak to your team, being able to stick together and still perform well despite everything that's swirling around?
I think you guys worry about that more than we do. We come out here and race every week, and the mission is to win the championship. And so for me, it's really simple. I just have to give the best I can every week, and that's it.
Any additional questions upstairs?
No more questions.
Okay, we got 2 questions in the back.
Jimmy, this is a question for you. You're sitting on the box. You have a plan. You'd like to bring Carl in at a particular lap. All of a sudden, the yellows come out. Everything seems to change. Walk us through how you stay focused on exactly how you want to do it, regardless of the yellows.
Well, early on we kind of got beat up. We got beat by it. We we had a plan to start with. We worked on a plan. Carl, Jack, the engineers, everybody. We talked about it yesterday. We did talk about it this morning. We're going to do a two-stop race, and what happens is you kind of have to stick to your plan going in. But even at the beginning, we got yellow come out, and we got trapped out there, and that hurt us quite a bit. So, but what we did at the end there, we was going to be pitting on lap 71. And we figured, well, we'll just come a lap early because we know if we need to stretch it, because we worked on fuel mileage with Carl yesterday in practice, or Friday in practice. So we came one lap early, and fortunate enough, the yellow came out as soon as we were done with our pit stop. So, but we stuck to our plan. We were getting beat up out there, but at the end result, it worked out, to our favor.
Okay. Go ahead, Mark.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Jimmy, sort of following up on that, did you think at any point that because of the cautions that kept popping up there at the end, you might have to deviate from that plan, or was there really wasn't any thought in your mind? You just sort of anchored into that strategy and we're going to leave it be?
Well, at the end there, once we pitted on lap 70, got tires, the cautions were coming out, and I didn't think where we were in the front. Even people with the 88 got tires, and he's just coming up through. But then once you get going so far, the tires start balancing back out. And plus he was far enough behind where he's got to abuse his stuff up pretty good. So we kind of held our plan and just stayed right with it.
All right. Carl, Jack, Jimmy, congratulations on your win here today, and good luck next weekend.
All right. Thank you guys very much.